Hello everyone. Well, we're back in the garage here again today. It's kind of cold and nasty outside, a little bit of rain here and there, and the garage isn't too bad. It looks like it's 50 degrees in here, so figured I'd make a video in here. I've had a few requests from some people, and they were curious about my moto camping gear. I haven't actually moto camped on the Springfield yet, but that'll be coming here soon, hopefully. I've got a few camping trips planned this summer. I've got one bike rally where I'm going to camp out at this summer too. So I took this opportunity, since I'm not going to do anything else today, to kind of put my camping gear together, and that way I can show you guys what I carry. So we'll start out, have an extra pair of gloves. And what I'll do is I'll put most of this on the bench here so we can look that over more later. Got rain pants, and then we'll start putting the stuff on the bench here. So I've got some lunch, bandana and neck warmer, cook stove, stakes for my tent, poles for my tent, the tent itself. I've got some plexus for cleaning the windshield. Got a Dynaplug pump. You guys there's a review on that. And then some other tools. All the tools that'll keep me going for small things on the road. Got a first aid kit, little set of Craftsman tools here, flashlight, and a Gerber. That's what's in that bag. So we'll go on over here in this bag. So I got a hat for let's see, my sleeping bag, some extra undergarments and socks, some thermals. Go into those there in a little bit more detail here in just a second. Some more clothes, all my GoPro gear, a headlamp for around camp, ground cloth for the tent, some hand warmers, some wet wipes, and some Kleenex. So you can see the bag's all empty there. And that bag's all empty there. Looks like I left some money in there. Let's get that out of there. Might need that penny someday. So anyway, that's what I have. So we'll go into a little more detail on this stuff. So we'll kind of start off with the emergency type tools here. So I've got the stock Indian toolkit with a few extra things. I've got a extra little ratchet in here. See here, I got a ratchet, a couple of Allen sockets. This the Indian is a metric bike, and either everything's Allen, or there's a couple nuts and bolts on there. So that's why I've got this. This is a metric Craftsman tool set. It has some of the Allen wrenches that were in this kit originally, and some other ones that I bought, and all the metric sockets with the little 1/4-inch drive ratchet. So got a Gerber. You got to have one of those for all that kind of stuff. Got a little mini mag flashlight, and the Dynaplug tire pump and plug kit. I'll put a tab up here in the corner, right over in here, and from a video that I did when I got this, and I kind of tested out how fast the pump worked. So we'll set that stuff aside here. So next is the GoPro Box. If I wasn't bringing this along, I could probably fit a camp chair in there just go ahead and give you a quick look at what's in there. Got an extra backup camera. Got some extra mounts in case I break some mounts. Got my extra batteries in there, and all my cords and stuff are all inside there. Nothing too serious there. So, all right, the next thing we're gonna look into here, we've got a headlamp. That's always good for around camp, setting up. Get your hands free. You can set your tent up. Got this medical kit. It's got all the stuff you need, and then some hot hands in case you get cold. Those will help warm you up. And then the should have showed this with the tools, but this is the stock Indian shock pump. This is how you adjust your shock to the added weight when you put extra weight either in the saddlebags or a passenger. Some Kleenex and some wet ones to get cleaned up with at camp. Most of my camping trips, I stay at a campground, so I don't, have to really worry about having a chair or anything. That's why I'm not real concerned with bringing it this time. But it's always good to be able to keep cleaned up, and in case you or somebody else gets hurt, it's always good to have the first aid kit around. So. All right, next on the list here, we'll go with the tent. This tent here is a Mountain Hardware tent. It's called a Light Path 2. They actually don't make this tent anymore, but I really like it. It's got tent poles and the tent stakes there. This tent here is, I've had this thing for probably 12 years now. I've used it on, I'll bet you, 50 or 60, maybe more. I would say probably even more nights camping. It's been a great tent, super waterproof. It's been in rain, snow, wind, you name it. It's held up to it. I think Mountain Hardware really makes a quality product. I've been getting all my camping gear. Most of the stuff's left over from backpacking, and I still backpack on occasion, just not near as often as I used to. But there's a company called Camp Saver. So if you're looking for some gear, if you want to do some moto camping, they're really good. Their prices are usually really good. Check out there. Sometimes they have some great sales. So anyway, that's the tent. Next we'll go with the sleeping bag. And this sleeping bag here is a Kelty Cosmic 20-degree down bag. You can see it's super tiny. Packs down, only weighs like maybe 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. That's one good thing about down sleeping bags. They pack super small. They're super light. Like again, super good for backpacking. Also really good for bike packing because they do pack so light and so small. What I'll do, I guess I should have showed you that with the tent when I had the tent up here, but I have a picture of when I went bike packing on the KLR with the tent and everything, and everything went on the tail bag on that thing. So anyway, Kelty, good brand. Sometimes you can find these really good on sale. Usually a down sleeping bag will set you back a couple $100. I actually found this for $79 on sale. So next, I always have some Plexus for cleaning the windshields and visors off and stuff when the bugs get bad. And when I put it in the bag, I just wrap it up here in the wrap the cloth around it. That way I got the cloth and everything to clean the windshields with. Next up here, we'll go into some clothes. So this is some thermal underwear and I always get the nylon really thin, really good. I always take this with me camping, even in the summertime, especially up here in the mountains. It'll always get down into the 30s every night. And another good thing about wearing long johns inside your sleeping bag, it'll keep the oil off of the inside of your sleeping bag, so your sleeping bag stays a lot cleaner. And plus, if you wear these in, at night, you change into these, they'll wick the sweat. So if you do get to sweating a little bit. It'll help keep you warmer, actually. They won't let you get as cold as if you're wearing like a cotton undergarment or anything. So that's why I always use those. Next here is some more undergarments. Got some socks, some underwear. I always take wool socks with me. That way if I get caught in a rainstorm or for whatever reason my feet get wet, the wool will help you stay warmer and won't let your feet get so cold. And then we have here, I have a buff, and then a beanie, and then a neck sleeve. And the beanie and the neck sleeve are made out of fleece, so if I end up in cold weather, that'll help keep me warm. You know, like I say, even in the summertime, you can get into some cold weather up here in the mountains. And this here is a piece of house wrap. I don't know if you guys ever seen that stuff when they're building houses. They will they wrap it in this white cloth. And what I use it for is the stuff's really tough. It's breathable, but waterproof. So I use this as a ground sheet underneath my tent. It helps protect the tent from any sticks or anything I might be setting up on. And also keeps the moisture from wicking back through the ground into the bottom of the tent. Definitely something to have. They do make ground cloths and they cost a lot of money for these tents. If you can find somebody building a house, maybe for a couple bucks, you can get some of this house wrap off of them. And this is, should have put this in for the rest of my clothes. So what I've got in here is, I've got a pair of Levi's, a quick dry shirt. I always wear quick dry shirts whenever I'm going to be out camping overnight or anything. That way, if it does get wet, it'll dry out quick. You'll be able to use it again. And that's about it in there. And then we have some rain gear, some rain pants, in case it starts to raining. I always leave these on top of the bag. I always want stuff that I might need right away on top of the bag. So these go right on top, easy to get to. And I have some new gloves. I've tried them out a little bit. These are Fly gloves, and they're winter gloves and they're waterproof gloves. So I've tried them out a little bit. They're really warm. I went out riding the other day when the temperature's in the high 30s, low 40s. I'll probably do a review on these at some point in time, but I haven't rode with them enough to really test them out. So I won't do a review until I can really test them out. And let's see. Then we always this time I'll be bringing lunch. It'll be one night I'm on the road. I'm going to be on the road for a total of a week, and there's going to be 1 or 2 nights that I'm going to be camping out away from the city. Most of the time I'm going to be staying in a campground in Durango itself, but there might be 1 or 2 nights that I'm going to camp out that are going to be out in some Forest Service campgrounds, 20-30 miles from the nearest city. So I brought me some dinner. One thing I like to do with this is I just get some mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes, and then some of these chicken pouches. And what I'll do is I'll use this little Tupperware bowl here, put half the potatoes in, boil some water in here to heat the potatoes up, and then throw a pouch of this chicken in there, whatever flavor you like. I like the buffalo style. Makes a great meal, costs just a couple bucks, super easy to clean up. Pour some hot water in this thing, swish it around, you're done. Another backpacking trick that we used on some week-long backpacking trips we've done. So, of course, with those we packed a week's worth of food because we were back in the middle of nowhere camp. And that's the food, and the stove is a jet boil. It's also 10 or more years old, and these things are super fuel efficient. We camped for over a week, and 2 of us ate cooking with this thing 2 meals a day, and didn't even go through one little can of fuel. So definitely worth the money on that. Last but not least, a hat. Gotta wear it, gotta have a hat. My hair's getting a little thin on top, so the sun's starting to get a little tough on the top of my head, so I always got to keep a hat. So anyway, that's what I take on a bike packing trip. You know, like I said, if I didn't have the GoPro, I could probably fit a camp chair in there too, but it was a little too tight to get it all in there. So, but I definitely want to take some camera gear with me, because I want you guys to be able to come along with me on these rides too. So I'll sacrifice the chair, even if I'm going to a place where there's no picnic table. I've sat on the ground long enough times I could sit on the ground and lean up against a motorcycle and be just fine. So anyway, if you guys have any questions about any of this gear, make sure you hit the comment section below, and do appreciate you kind of sticking with me. I hope you guys can get out there and do some bike camping too, man. It's a blast, especially if you can get into some of those Forest Service campgrounds that aren't too far off the road but are a long ways from anywhere. Really good place just to kick back and relax and listen to the sounds of nature. Anyway, you guys take care and ride safe out there, and we'll hopefully see you on the road this summer. Take care. Thanks.